Greetings, this is m squared, and we're going to write some exponential equations. They give us 2 points. If you notice, this point right here has a 0 for x. If that does not happen, you cannot really write an equation given 2 points. One of them has to be this, because you see here we have 4 variables. And so we need at least 3 of those things to be able to write an equation. We have an x and a y in both points, so we could use either one for that. But then we'd need an a or a b. And since this is 0, we know that this is a. Because if you remember in your exponential equation, this is where it starts, the beginning point, or the y-intercept. Remember, to find a y-intercept, x would have to be 0. So if x is 0, anything to the 0 power is 1, so it just leaves this as y. So that's why we can write these equations, because one of the points is 0. So keep in mind, this is going to be your a, this is going to be your x, and this is going to be your y. And then it's just a matter of solving for b to write the equation. So we just simply make substitutions. We say 225 is equal to 5 times b to the 3rd power. Well, in order to solve this equation, we need to get b alone. So we divide both sides by 5. And we get 225 divided by 5. What's that? 15? I think it's 45, but let's make sure. Yes, so 45 equals b cubed. Well, how do you get rid of cubed? What's the opposite of cubing? Well, if you remember, hopefully you've already said it, it's taking it to the 1/3 power or the cubed root. I'll do it both ways for you. Those mean the same thing, taking something to the 1/3 power or cubed rooting. Well, when I do that, remember the power rule for exponents says to multiply, and 3 times 1/3 is 1, so those cancel. That's why I do it. I want to get b alone. Then I need to take the cubed root of 45, and you see that little key right there. You might not have it. You could say cubed root, well, then I'd need to say 3 first. Cubed root, that means cubed root of 45. That's one way to write it. You could also raise it to the 1/3 power, like we did on this side. So you get that here. We'll write it down. 3.56. We'll round to the nearest hundredths. You could also say 45 to the 1/3 power. And you'll get this, the same thing. So that's how you do that one. Oh, well, we're not done. We just found b. So now we have to write the equation. So y equals, where did we start? 5. What's our b? 3.56. And then our x is our exponent. Okay, let's try one more. So what do you think? Y equals, we know it's going to be this. I'll write the equation first. We don't know our b, but we know our x. So let's substitute. This is a. This is x, and this is y. So 50 equals 1.8 times b squared. So we divide both sides by 1.8, and 50 divided by 1.8 is 27.7 repeating. We'll just do that, and then what do I have to do? I have to square root to get rid of the squared, or raise it to the 1/2 power. So now I want the square root of the answer. So I can press the little answer key and it plops that answer back in for me. Hopefully your calculator has a nice little key like that, and again we'll round to the nearest hundredth. So that's b. Then we write our equation. We put our b in. And if you remember, those are both increasing. You can kind of tell. It goes from 1.8 to 50. But whenever b is greater than 1, we know it's an increasing function. So that's how you write exponential equations that pass through 2 points. As long as you're given the y-intercept, you can do it that way. This is m squared signing out.